fact, there's a piece of breaking news that's coming in just now. In fact, the DAC has approved the acquisition of Rafale fighter jets. In fact, this is the big news that's coming in just now. This was something that was being anticipated, and finally, the DAC has cleared the purchase of Rafale fighter jets. CNN News 18's Akash now joins us for more on this. Akash, this has been discussed for the last several months. This was being anticipated. Finally, that big decision by the DAC.
Oh, yes. You see, Harish, this was in fact anticipated, as you rightly pointed out. It was very much a part of the agenda today. And we are learning, in fact, defense sources are telling us that Defence Acquisition Council has granted AON, which was in fact required for this particular deal. And now we have been told that this process would go further, given the fact that in fact, the French President Emmanuel Macron is very much expected, in the days to come. And at that point in time, we are anticipating that some sort of announcement may happen. But this time around, the big, in fact, deal that has been granted AON is 114 Rafale for the Indian Air Force. Remember, Indian Air Force these aircraft. In fact, this was very much a part of discussions that, in the meetings that were happening in the past few months. And in fact, Indian Air Force had recommended this particular aircraft, after which in the month of January, Defence Procurement Board, had approved this particular deal. But now we are learning that Defence Acquisition Council, which is the top decision-making body, has approved 114 Rafale for the Indian Air Force. It is not the only, discussion that happened. In fact, we are learning that P8i aircraft for Indian Navy have already also been granted AON. So this is one, big story, that we are breaking here on CNN News 18, that how Defence Acquisition Council has granted AON, for 114 Rafale aircraft for Indian Air Force. Harish.
Absolutely, Akash. And the fact that the Indian Air Force already has 36 of these fighter jets, perhaps a lot of deliberation would have happened on how buying more of these would help the Indian Air Force, not just in terms of operational capabilities, but also in terms of maintenance and synergy of systems.
Oh, yes. In fact, back in 2007, it was for the very first time when, Indian Air Force, put out the RFI, the request for those MMRCA. And at that point in time, in fact, we know that how, two squadrons, were very much, acquired. And we know that how at this point in time, Indian Air Force is already operating these 36 aircraft. But right now, it is under MRFA, which is, medium role fighter aircraft for Indian Air Force. And now the Indian Air Force is going to get 114 aircraft. And the important part is that these, aircraft would be manufactured here in India, because we have been told that initial units will come in a flyaway condition, Harish, and then the remaining, aircraft would be manufactured here in India only. So it's a big push for Make in India and Atmanirbharta approach as well, Harish.
In fact, absolutely stay with us, Akash, because we also have Mr. B.S. Siwach joining us, DG Aviation Safety India. Sir, this was something that was being discussed for a long time, and finally the DAC clearing this. We are looking at around 114 more fighter jets that will be available for the Indian Air Force in the coming few years.
This is fantastic news, and it's a win-win situation for India. We have already 36 Rafale with us, and they proved their mettle during the Operation Sindoor, and now 114 of them coming to India. And there will be almost technology transfer, and this will not be of the same class as the Rafale we have in India at present. There will be upgraded version, and they will be also converted into totally Indian conditions. And we have learned during Operation Sindoor what are the strength and some limitations. So those strengths will be exploited and limitations will be enhanced and improved for a better performance. And this is a big push for Make in India. And we are also likely to get the, engines also, which are, we are having problems with the engines of the fighter aircraft. So these aircraft engine also will get the technology transfer from France. And those engine also will be made into India. and that will be a quantum jump in our defense, independence, आत्मनिर्भरता जिसको बोलते हैं, and these Rafale jets have a proven air battle capability, and they already performed in the very remarkable manner. So it's going to be a great, it's a great news, and we are proud of all this government that it is giving so much of importance to getting the latest, because the Air Force is in need of those fighter aircraft.
Yes.
Because we have from 42 squadron minimum which we required because of a long time back. Now we require at least 60 squadrons, but we have hardly 30 squadrons.
Yes.
So with the addition of these 114 aircraft, the Air Force, air power is going to get big boost, and it will also be boost to our Atmanirbharta and Make in India. So great news, wonderful news.
So you've already mentioned the worry that was there that the number of squadrons was depleting. But we've seen the kind of stellar role that the fighter jet has played in Operation Sindoor. How important will it be, sir, considering that we've seen so much discussion about a possibility of a two-front war in the coming decades, and the Indian Armed Forces being ready for that?
You see, now this 114 of these Rafale jets are going to get into Indian Air Force. We are already making Tejas aircraft within India, and our ANCA also will be start getting inducted, and possibly may even going for interim measure for Su-57 from Russia. That is the stealth aircraft. That is the fifth generation technology. So with all these equipment put together and the state-of-the-art missiles, radar, fire control radar, fire warning, missile warning systems and all that, the power of the Air Force will multiply manifold. So two-front war or any war, and now in fact we have another little enemy in Bangladesh coming up. So even they also, may join forces against us. So we have to be fully prepared, and with this government single-minded, dedication for enhancing the firepower of our armed forces, giving it so much of
absolutely
boost, giving it so much of attention, we are much better placed than what we were maybe a decade earlier. And things are only looking up. We are improving and enhancing our engineers, scientists, IT professionals, manufacturers. They are also doing a great job.
Yes.
And getting all these, unmanned aerial vehicles, combat UAVs and all that. So with that, we will be much better prepared, and we'll be able to take on any enemy around the world.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Absolutely, it's a great day for the Indian Armed Forces. We'll have to see how quickly these jets can be commissioned for the Indian Air Force. Well, these are the top stories in today's Simply South. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories, but time to take a short break. On the other side, more news and updates follow.